Good evening, gamers. Welcome. Tonight we have Super Metroid Randomizer Tournament Dash Mystery. We are in Swiss Week 5, and this is our one undefeated matchup. Both of these gamers are undefeated, have got 4 wins and 0 losses. Yep, we got farfelu mm2. I've never heard of either of these guys. They seem like they're alright. But no, these are my two teammates from Super Metroid Rando League last year. So I'm familiar with both of them. They're both very strong. Yeah, they're both really good at this game. Pretty scary to play against. Anything can happen. Hoping to see some area rando. We should be starting in just a few seconds here. So the mystery tournament, we are playing Super Metroid Randomizer. That much we know. What we don't know is the item split. That can be Chozo, Major, Minor, or Full Countdown. We also don't know how the bosses are going to be. They can be shuffled, which is like the old school way, where wherever you find Kraid, he will unlock Kraid's closet. Dragon will unlock Dragon's back door. They can also be shifted, where whatever boss is in whatever area will unlock that area. So Kraid at Dragon would unlock Dragon's back door. And we've also got a couple other settings that aren't as important. I am joined by DJ. He is currently cropping still, I think. We also have Nerdvod on tracking.
Yes, I will join you in like 10 seconds.
No rush. And we see Farfy not going to be using Moonfall here. They're actually using the same sprite. This is one of mm2's custom sprites. Love the colors on it.
Okay, hello. I think I've got everything settled. If something looks off cropping or volume or anything wise, please let us know. But yes, hello. Nice to be joining you, Bress, on commentary. And yeah, exciting matchup here for this is the beginning of week 5. Officially, I think question mark, asterisk, hush hush, wink wink. But yeah, exciting one. We start out here with a major minor item split, no countdown. We got an E-Tank on the morph ball. So major minor, something that they'll both be very familiar with. And mystery tournament gives you lots of different randomization. I know Bress has talked about several of those already. We'll see what our runners get into and how they decide to handle it. And yeah, I jokingly said before the race, Bressingham and I have 3 losses between us, and 2 of them are to the runners on the screen. So I don't know if we're rooting for the one that beat us or rooting for the one that didn't, but we'll figure that out as we go.
Yeah, these are no slouches, really good runners. Definitely familiar with the major minor split. That was one of the tournaments last year. That was the SpeedGaming Live offline tournament. Was major minor area boss rando. So if they get area rando, they're going to be cooking. I know MM2, it's definitely his favorite mode, is major minor area.
Yeah, so we do have these power bombs, so we're going to see pretty quickly here. And we have the E-Tank, so this is much safer than it otherwise could be. Plus, another power bomb pack, so we're not going to be wanting for those early, which will be nice to see. And that door flashes. Here we go. Away from criteria, potentially. We're right back to it.
I'm happy to see that door flash, DJ. I was... Major minor vanilla map would have been disappointing. Not gonna lie, but we are in area, so...
We're skipping the climb. We just boarded right back to the top of the criteria map. A very interesting little quirk about area rando is MM2 does get the first try good setup CWJ. That's going to be really good. Farfelu did not. And it's going to have to reset this up. They were actually joking about this in the pre-race chat. Farfelu, as Bryce pointed out, does not use Moonwalk. So there's an in-room setup to get that with a morph turnaround. It's a lot less convenient. So he's just going to actually elect to skip that. Some good knowledge M2's going to have for quite a while.
Yeah, that back of outlet knowledge is actually really handy in these modes. That's where you want to do LN from whenever you are ready to do it. So it's gonna come in handy for MM2.
Yes, and the one potential downside of skipping the climb here with that very convenient inner criteria portal, Old Mother Brain is never getting checked unless it's like literally the only super missile available at all, and the 230 is also a little bit more of a detour than it could have been. So we are on a little bit of a super hunt, but we've got space jump already. That's pretty nice.
That's a really useful item to have early. That really trivializes a lot of the movement. So really nice to have. Yeah, no supers yet, so we'll see if they go out of their way for him. It looks like farfelu may be going to Gauntlet here.
That is what it looks like indeed. I was actually thinking when both of them ran by the ship that maybe saving them would have been a little bit better. I mean, the movement that you save on this screen because they're both coming back is extremely minimal, but with 10 power bombs already and the 2 miners in the back, this isn't necessarily a bad play. You can get some stuff. And we're actually we're gonna see the landing site power bomb location. Extremely rare in basically every setting, but especially major minor.
Yeah, and MM2 gonna skip this, so very likely he's gonna save some time here. Basically, this would need to be a rare super pack for farfelu for this to be worth it.
Yep, and it is just a missile. But MM2, with some teammate solidarity, gets grabbed by a yapping mod to mitigate some of his time save.
I'm a little surprised they're both doing Gauntlet here. Maybe they think there's going to be a key major item that they need as well as ammo in the back. Just an E-tank, though.
Yeah. I think especially with the 230 and Old Mother Brain miners trying to spike a super back here, feels like it's decent enough, as unfortunately that power bomb was too far right. Have plenty, so you're not really worried about running out, but I'd rather keep them, because yeah, coming out of here with 1, you're going to get 2 from the B-toms. Depending on where we end up on these left criteria portals, you might have wanted that one back. We do not get a super.
Just misses. So, still looking around for the super. I would have liked to see them do 230 instead of doing all this, honestly. But I understand the play.
Yes. The one thing I'll say quickly before we get elsewhere is that there are restrictions, basically, because we found 1 inner area portal. There are not going to be any more anywhere, so that can be pretty good, especially we haven't found the other big areas, Red Bryn Star, Upper Norfair, stuff like that. So, gonna take you somewhere else, which, in my opinion, should always be the case, but this is neither the time nor the place to talk about those things.
Okay, we have Business Center. MM2 just going to turn around here. Wants to check this other portal first.
Yeah, interesting. The ordering of things can definitely affect what you do and how you do things. I think I would have been tempted, as both of these doors do go to Upper Norfair, to just get those out of the way. Typically, you don't plan on staying in Upper Norfair and going from left to right via Cathedral. So you can just kind of knock those 2 out, get the other door on the right by Crate Mouth, and then get that left door too as well. But there's a lot of different ways to do things.
Yeah, and this Business Center is awkward because you can't go across without a super here.
And you can't check ice. That's a good point. Hopefully,
yeah, so
the
you're
miners.
restricted to these 2 miners here. Hopefully they do get a super.
Oh yeah, I did talk about checking a portal that is completely inaccessible currently.
And they're not going to get one, so they have to turn around. I guess they need to go in from the Chronic Boost portal and explore from that side. I don't.
Unless this is exactly speed, which it's not. But we have some nice majors early here. Plasma beam, space jump. We are in a no starter charge situation this seed. It is vanilla, so we do need to either find enough ammo or that charge beam out in the wild. And early plasma makes that charge all the more valuable.
plasma is still useful for killing stuff, but really you're gonna want the charge beam to go with it at some point, hopefully.
Yes, and I thought maybe MM2 was coming over there for the powerbomb refill. I guess this is still the best save if you're going to be doing the whole run, regardless of the direction. And Farfelu is taking the impassable direction, but he is going to get some power bombs before probably realizing that he couldn't go this way. It's going to be a little unfortunate for his health, but we'll see what he decides to do from here.
I'm really glad that he remembered there's a green door over there, because at first I did not.
Yep, and the Kagos there should refill his health pretty easily, but we'll see. And yeah, this is the only path forward unless there are, in fact, supers at one of those. Well, I mean, there's 4 miners below us between 230, Old Mother Brain, and Billy Mays. And
they can get the wave beam as well without supers.
Yes, as well as the Bubble Mountain Miner and this portal, which MM2 is showing us. Shoutouts to the Space Jump. Got the gate glitch very quickly, and this is easy to get to with Space Jump, but Farf is going a different direction. Just gonna head up to Bubble Mountain.
Ooh, okay, and we find Red Tower, so no longer restricted to this Norfair. Got a lot more options now, probably.
Are still restricted by the super missiles, though.
Ooh, this is really tight for Farfelu. He needs to go to the farm room.
And get a really good pause abuse. A really good one. You got it. I think he might need another one, though. Yeah, that's... If they come up, he might be... And I don't know if he saved since ship. He saved his ship, right, to refill?
Yeah, he saved before Gauntlet.
Which is unfortunate, because that's a tank you probably want for this stuff you're doing right now. That is...
Yeah, meanwhile, like M2 finds supers here in green hill zone.
Ooh, I think I would have checked ice there.
I think he might agree with you.
Pretty much the only time you're going to be able to conveniently clean this up. So Farfelu is going to look at these criteria miners. The super missiles, not as elusive as they could have been, but definitely had to go on a little bit of a trek through the planet to find them, where MM2 did at the Green Hill Zone, and that's just another power bomb.
Yeah, I think it was Farfelu going in to Cathedral for the power bombs that caused him not have enough health for that heat run there.
Yes, the logical requirement is 2 energy tanks, but that puts you at 299 max, and he was definitely in the teens when he started that, so didn't want to risk the gate glitch, which is also, you can fail that and end up in shambles. So yeah, he's going on an adventure here through criteria to try and find some supers and keep finding power bombs.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate. He was on the right path, so having died, he wants to, try and make up some of that time by going somewhere else. Which he is going to go down here. I wonder if he's looking for supers. What was the portal down here?
The portal was the corkscrew room, which is not accessible without supers, so probably he's going to check Billy Mays and then go through that portal, use the space jump to not CWJ to that portal, so he'll get that cleaned up. But then, depending on supers, he's going to have to end up probably where MM2 is at some point, and he's going to be quite a bit behind, unfortunately.
Yeah, all this time, Farfelu's trying to find these supers. MM2's filling up on a lot of good stuff here. He's on to 4 E-tanks now.
Yep, and found the X-ray scope at Ice Beam. We are now 2/3 of the way to the lauded microwave beam. We just need to find the wild charge beam, as we do get the super missiles here at Billy Mays. And we get a gravity suit. It's a very nice early find.
Very nice. Gonna open up a lot more of the map for us. Meanwhile, Farfelu, I think he's going to go into this portal here. He's going to be able to scout the back of Ellen at Moat, which is good. And yet he's not going to get funneled into Greenbryn now that he has the super, so he can kind of go where he wants to, but he does want to get here for the gravity suit anyway.
Yes, if he can spike something good elsewhere before coming here, that would be good for his position. M2 is going to be blazing forward through this Greenbryn Star, one of the best areas to find. You have several majors, several on the way, and compact minor items to collect, and nice farming spots for whatever ammo you need.
Alright, let's see what we got here at the Edicoon's Major, just another E-Tank.
Yeah, question in chat from Ace. You are correct. It was the Magdalite tunnel that did Farfelu. Well, that's the way he went. He just didn't have enough energy basically from the start. And trying to go through that room just didn't work out. MM2 just gate glitched and space jumped through the grapple room and ended up at Croc Portal. We have not seen single chamber portal in Upper Norfair. That's the one we don't know about yet, so eventually we'll probably get back there. Less Seed is so kind to us that we just find everything we ever need and never go back.
Farfelu gets back to Upper Norfair here. Gonna be able to check right side business center. Finds the Greenbryn that MM2 is at. And he's just going to be playing catch up here for a few minutes.
Yes, and not going to have some portal knowledge potentially. It depends on how he does the portals, because he's going to end up in Red Tower, and it's not the tube that you come out of, so you don't need to worry about the tube break, although you have the free opportunity anyway. So it's possible he gets the Upper Norfolk portal info that MM2 also has, and then comes back. But like we said, MM2 is basically going to be a full Greenbryn ahead, plus having Plasma and X-Ray already. But he's just going to dip back out.
Yeah, I like this. You really want to do all the majors here. Red Tower only has 2, whereas there's 4 accessible here, 5 with speed. So once to get these out of the way, he's going to get rewarded with the gravity suit and a few more E-Tanks. And X-Ray. He doesn't have the Plasma from Business Center, though. I wonder if he's trying to just skip that for now. And did MM2 actually go back for Ice? I can't remember.
Yeah, Ice is where X-Ray was, actually. It's not in Greenbryn.
Oh, okay.
M2 taking the save a little bit less frequently seen with the additional saves added in a somewhat recent dash update in area. There's plenty in West Meridia. There's even the extra one in Greenbryn. So this is good if you find like wreck ship in a boss you can't kill. Frankly, that boss doesn't really exist as long as you execute well, but the supers aren't super high. But we find back of East. Not gonna want to traverse through there, especially with Red Tower on the other side of Greenbryn Star.
Yeah, you prefer to find front of East and just do it from there. But even with the front, we can't even do a Crystal Flash to get through to Bottoon yet. So can't do the boss there yet.
MM2 can't. Farfelu theoretically could, but practically his ammo isn't really sufficient for the Bottoon that occurs after the CF clip. So expect him to not take that risk. Although I guess M2 has found like all of his supers in Greenbryn Star, so Farfelu will have 35 by that time, presumably.
Yeah, I'm not sure how comfortable he is with the suitless clip. We'll see what he decides to do. It's possible that that death is going to make him change his decision making here. Try to make a play.
Generally speaking, for my taste, I would say it's extremely early for that kind of play, but like you said, with the death and the caliber of runner you're up against, that could be something that you potentially option select to. And there are very big potential payouts. And like I said, with all the E-Tanks here, pretty comfortable. But I guess was high jump in E-Tank? And he also didn't get back to Gauntlet, so actually probably
That jump
only
was
be at full.
plasma.
High jump was plasma. Okay, so he'll be
Yeah.
one E-Tank down from Gauntlet. It looks like 2 was this front of Rex Shear here for MM2. Going to give us the first little peek at some boss information. Most of the time, one boss does not tell you everything that's going on, but in the case of a shuffled non-Phantoon, it would actually give us all of the information.
And he's gonna go for it. He's pretty much set for Ridley here. The only problem is he wants to have full supers. He has to use one on the door. He can missile the Ghidorah. He might get another one from the spooky missile check. 6 E-Tanks with no reserves is a little bit tight. But it looks like he's confident enough that he's going to take the risk.
Yeah. I think one small bit of a point toward that confidence. I typically like to check this miner first, because if you reset, you basically double get the fanfare.
Yeah,
So
and then save after, yeah.
Yeah. If he only uses the one super and does end up getting a Ridley, he would most likely be. He's definitely capable. Ridley is one of those awkward things, especially without the reserve. The reserve is quite the boon to your safety. You can basically take one hit and you're very unlikely to succeed. Little staring contest there with the Ghidorah. And that's not Ridley with the fade out. It's also not Phantoon.
Okay, so
But
we
it
have
is
shifted or surprise, and we get Dragon.
Yes, indeed. Shifted style bosses in this seed. What that means is this Dragon is going to have the item behind it. As you would expect, the spaceship location is always attached to Dragon's rune, and once the boss is killed, the wreck ship will be turned on.
Oh, and
As far
he almost went in there, but
he had some thoughts.
better with that ammo that he has.
Yeah, it's 20, 35, 20, but only one current missile. It will be quite some farming. There is a major there. The portal we know is going to be something. There are 3 dead ends outstanding, so one of them would be good if it was Kraid and like it gave you some abilities to do some things, or gave you like the various suit, for example. Then you just CF clip for sure.
I really would like to
will be
see him
bad.
there. It could have given him an advantage. There are majors accessible there. It's just the reserve tank in the sandpit. But Kraid would be really good for him there. It's pretty risky though, considering you could not be able to do the boss.
Yes, it's definitely the biggest worry as a reserve tank here for MM2. And frankly, now that we know that the bosses are shifted, at least, or shifted or surprise, with Ridley not being in Lore Warfare potentially, MM2 is actually in a really, really good spot already. He would need to find probably another tank or 2 and another few powerbomb packs, but he's almost at go mode if Ridley isn't in Lore Warfare.
Yeah, that plasma beam really useful for lower Norfell runs. Actually, it's more or less can substitute for screw attack if you are in need. So he's potentially very close to go mode, as you said.
So farfelu is going to be at this wreck ship juncture with fewer items, but with the Dragon being the boss, he will definitely be able to also complete what's going on here. We'll see how runners just let to do this. The E-Tank check is pretty good if you're going through the back, because this is, I believe, no, M2 should have this one, because farfelu we expect to be up 5 from Billy Mays, but I think you probably want to stay in Red Brintstar, so the E-Tank's a little awkward.
Did we see back of wrecked ship? I don't think we have.
Nope.
Okay, so it looks like MM2 is going to check the E-Tank location and then scout this portal and potentially just follow that. To give him an excuse to leave and not do the top, which we can only get one major from bowling without speed.
Some nice deboost there in the spiky room of death. It's much less deadly when you have a suit, especially the one that also doesn't that makes water not inhibit your movement. So very nice and quick room. We're gonna see this E-tank location give us reserve tank number 2.
All right, not as useful as the first one, but it's not useless.
Yes. It is still plus 100 energy, just in a much less convenient way.
Yeah. Farfelu going in here, less energy, so maybe would have had a scarier Ridley, but it's just going to be Dragon.
Yep. And you do have to be a little bit careful on Dragon, especially coming in with only 3 missiles and actually using them on the turret. I don't think it really matters, but I think I would have just supered all 3. But missiles are the thing that's easier to farm, and you do only need 20 supers to kill the Dragon, but the missiles just come out faster and you're less worried about spamming them.
See where this leads to.
Looks like Main Street, yeah. First peek
All
into
right.
West Meridia.
MM's going to keep on cooking here. As long as you keep moving, checking stuff, you will be gaining knowledge.
Yes, and he does still have the opportunity, basically at any point, to reset back to that wreck chip save. The reserve he's gotten wouldn't be the worst link to lose. And that looks like Crocomire? Yep.
And we're doing Croc.
That's surprising to me.
Yeah, I mean, you can get the first item fairly quickly here and then kill. And it is a major since we're on major minor, so maybe wants to check, see if there's a cheeky Varia right here. May do both of them though. Most of the majors are still very helpful at this point, so.
Reserve tank number 3. They when they come, they don't stop coming. Apparently.
Yeah.
Time right now is not of the essence. You do get locked by the screen. Let's see if MM2 is going to leave or stay.
Commit. So this could potentially be a time sink for MM. We don't know what he's going to find. Charge would be really big. Speed or ice would be really nice. Everything else is probably not worth it. Varia, of course, obviously, that would be the best outcome.
Yes, it's still the case that we have quite a few accessible majors scattered around. We don't really know the availability of the Kraid majors, but Kraid does exist somewhere, and unless it's at the front of Lord Norfair, it's accessible to us right now. We also don't know what the boss is. If that was Ridley, neither of those could be the various suit, but that's slightly higher than a 1/3 chance in some cases, and it's a quarter chance in others, but we'll see. E-tank here. And like I said, it's still an option during this fanfare to reset all the way back to Wreck Ship, and then you could just go to Red Tower. And you got Spazer, you've got X-Ray, you've got 3 more portals. I think that's what I would have done from that juncture, but
well, I think that he may actually just want to go ahead and keep the tanks and just continue exploring west. He's getting closer and closer to being able to do the LN.
Power bombs are currently the issue.
Yeah, they are, and I'm surprised not checking Croc or cosine. Farfelu decides to skip the extras, or only wants 1. So far, though, unfortunately, Farfelu has done basically the exact same things, which is a testament to both of their skills, that they are able to read the seed and come to the same decision. But it is unfortunate when Farfelu is behind and he wants some sort of divergence to catch up.
Yeah, I really don't expect. Well, the funny thing is, doing Croc probably feels like it's something your opponent wouldn't have done. That wouldn't be the case in this exact deed. As M2, we did see a very, very big farm. I think all three of those reserves should be full now, as well as almost all of the supers and the 10 power bombs that he has. So he is definitely looking forward to being able to do whatever the seed throws at him. As we're going to see a nice door high five here. And whatever the seed throws at our runners from this juncture, unless that thing is pretty much exactly varioless LN, M2 is in a better position. Farfelu, with those criteria checks, does have quite the powerbomb lead here.
Right, he's gonna do it. He's not gonna be happy with what he finds. Okay, he's gonna leave.
Okay, that is going to be some time saving. There's some nice high jump boots here at the Mama Turtle Major. So, and Farfelu basically just needs one zig versus a zag to really be right back in this. If we can find Varia, the tanks that MM2 has aren't going to be a super huge advantage. The ammo is currently 60-35 versus 25-40. As well as if we find the charge beam, M2 already has the plasma. Farfelu, with knowledge of it, would have to go back. And the X-ray also in tow, so the Batsun fight in their future would be quicker. So still quite some advantages for MM2, but definitely a race right now.
Definitely that croc skip. Gonna catch up some time here. Okay, we find top of Red Bryn. We still haven't seen the other top Red Bryn portal, so M2 is gonna give us that. Did we see Spazer? I know we haven't.
We haven't seen Spazer or X-ray, and we haven't seen the portal by X-ray.
Interesting. So those can both have Varia.
And there is front lower Norfair. That's another green light to that various skip play we've been talking about. There's no dead end at the front, which would be quite devastating if you end up in that kind of situation without Varia. As here is a zig versus a zag. Pre-aqueduct checked for Farfelu, and that's our final upper Norfair portal. He is going to elect to not go that way. That really, race situation wise, would have been quite interesting for us, the all-seeing commentary eyes. Middle red tower is Kraid. So East Meridia does have Turian, so actually that CF clip we were talking about would have been a little bit devastating, even well, unless there's Varia there in Ridley's vanilla, but yeah. All of our portal knowledge, thanks to both of our runners doing a few extraneous things the other one didn't. There's another super here. M2 isn't even saving here, which he has 3 reserves and 768 plus 38 supers. He is pretty comfy.
He's not too worried. I mean, Ridley can go wrong, no matter how good you are or prepared you are. But he's feeling the heat. He doesn't want to spend that 30 seconds on it, and it is Ridley.
And it is Ridley indeed.
Let's see if he can pull this off. He's got a good bit of leeway here. Gonna stay on the ground here to manip Ridley into an instant pogo. Pogo is what you want for this type of fight. You have a lot of control over Ridley. You can get good DPS from supers, which is primarily all you want to be doing is blasting him with supers.
This is going to be one benefit of that play that M2 did, aside from the 2 extra tanks he got. He farmed up all the way to full. Farfelu has 6 missiles and 5 supers right now. It's going to go up to 10 with that, but he is going to probably save here and also going to do pretty lengthy farm. You're going to reset that door a lot and get these supers from mini creators. There's bombs, which, especially considering M2's power bomb situation, is really nice.
Yeah, it's helpful. Yeah, and Farfelu kind of a little bit lower on energy here. He can fill up and probably be comfortable with a 6+1 fight, but it's going to take him a while here at farm.
Yes. Energy and missile refill in the room that M2 is actually already in will be nice. But the supers is basically just redoing this room a bunch of times. And yeah, as you saw, M2 can use 2 plasma shots. Plasma is out of sight and out of mind for Farfelu at this point. He's probably Well, I don't even know because of how Myers have gone. He's only got 2540. I don't even know which you would rather do right now between ammo and charge finish. He did not look before he leaped.
Oh, okay. And I forgot. Spazer does not turn itself on dash. I forgot about that. Really nice
Yep.
quality of life.
So we can look at these red tower majors finally. And potentially get some more good items, but unless this is a surprise double Ridley, this seed pretty much farfelu is actually not going to get an E-Tank from either of these crate locations, but close to calling ourselves in go mode on farfelu's side, and mm2, like I said, definitely needs one more power bomb. And there's that charge beam.
And farfelu gone in here did not fill his reserve. It's going to make this a much tighter fight. He's doing great so far. Also manipped the pogo, so he just needs to get the supers in and then force Ridley to die here. Very, very nicely done. Easy. No problems at all for farfelu. Very nice.
Yep. Plenty of energy. Does that look like heat reduction to you?
I can't tell. It's too small of a difference.
It does look slower to me, but I wouldn't swear to it. Okay, chat says no.
Trust chat.
I will definitely trust them. They also have better frame rate than we do in the Discord restream.
So if farfelu goes for the charge, that is potentially go mode. He'll want to come back for plasma as well. But with 20 supers, he can just elect to do the crystal flash clip. Also got the bombs from Ridley, so that makes that trick much, much easier.
Yeah, depending on how things go, I don't know what item locations you're prioritizing here for M2. Are you still sticking majors? Obviously, Varia is the better outcome as far as finishing the seed, but minors are decently likely to give you a power bomb, and that also pretty much one would be enough. You have to be more careful as farfelu doesn't have the plasma, so Spazer is currently better than his beam,
currently
but
an upgrade, yeah.
Yes, doesn't know where the plasma is.
M2's in a weird spot, like you said, because either majors or minors could put him in go mode here. So it's almost like you have to choose, but it's just really hard to choose. Like, you may as well just go to whatever's densest and see what happens. But she's gonna head to Bubble Mountain here, which is nice and dense.
The one downside of this is because we're considering finishing it without Varia, this is gonna drain your health, and there's that power bomb pack. You are gonna have to refill it at least some. It's also the case that with only 15 power bombs, the CF clip that we've been talking about, if we don't find Ice or Speed somewhere, you have fewer tries for that as well. So only advantage.
Go for it with 15. M2's pretty confident on that.
Yes. Oh, and there's another one. That's
yeah.
That's pretty nice. I do expect to check this major, but after that, I really, really don't know what I expect. Getting back to criteria a little bit. Well, where are we? You can get back to criteria fairly quickly from here. So there is another energy tank.
Yeah, this is like really. Oh yeah, there we go. This is really, really comfortable now for Ellen. However, because it's shifted, it still could be a surprise, so we could find another Ridley and Ellen, which is still doable, but adds a lot of difficulty and time to that hell run.
Yes, it does. We are going to stay here in Bubble Mountain, going to speed. With all of the health we have, plus the reeds fill from that E-Tank at the reserve, it's not the most time commitment that you could find, but are certainly going to be in a position where we're close to just saying goodbye to item checks and hello to moving around the map as Farfelu is going to follow in the Bubble Mountain. I think I expected Plasma to be picked up at that juncture with the charge being collected.
Yeah, maybe wants to check these first and then go for plasma afterward. You kind of get stuck on that side if you go that way first.
I was also thinking along the lines of, especially with that death and knowing that depending on how you choose to route Upper Norfair, you could have just ended up in the green brin that he took an alternate route to, finding supers at Billy Mays. You either, if you're thinking, what did MM2 do and how do I find something elsewhere, you're thinking either he went to the green brin star you ended up in quicker, or he stayed over here first.
Mm-hmm.
So we shall certainly see how this one pans out, but it does look to be leaning heavily in the favor of MM2 at this juncture.
And there's our 4th reserve tank. So no Varia here. Does that mean it's in East Meridia?
Or top of ship.
Both awful.
And depending on where speed is, of course, there is waterway.
Oh god.
And yeah, we don't have Shack Tool Island, but you already mentioned East Meridia, which is, as stated, it's definitely what you want to do at the end of the seed. We have a long funnel. You have to get back to Green Brinstar, go to the top to the back of East Meridia, do that, and then hopefully finish with Turian. So the seed kind of doesn't care if logically you have to do some big backtrack to get Varia there and go elsewhere, but as racers, we do want to do things quickly.
Yeah. And here's Farfelu going back for plasma. So they're kind of funneled into some limited options here. It looks like MM2 is going to farm up and do Lower Norfair. And Farfelu really is prepared to do the same thing here.
I'm a little curious why you would stop here and farm, because of where back of Lower Norfair is. Ship refill just seems better in my opinion. Especially this farm spot.
True. Yeah, this is a really slow one.
So not going all the way to full is definitely in a place. I think 3 of his reserves should still be full. So he's got a bunch of health and 2 crystal flashes plus the bombs. So he doesn't need to be completely full. It just, the more the merrier, typically. Oh, he's gonna do front.
This is why he's doing front to back.
Always an option.
Yeah, I mean the gravity trivializes that room.
Especially
we've
with
got a handful of extra
yeah.
rooms, but he can go to the health refill here. Just do the normal RBO route. So I wonder if we'll see Farfelu just go to the ship and do this from the back.
Especially with his current resources, that makes a lot more sense for him.
Yeah.
If this screw attack item happens to be Icer Speed, that would be a boon to MM2's route, as well as being here much, much earlier. I think that was like 5th try gate glitch, maybe 6th. If this is nothing, they're actually probably going to get to Ridley at quite similar times. It is very much not nothing, though.
Yeah, that's gonna be really nice.
We just unlocked fast pillars. We just unlocked no CF clip. And we're just going to move faster generally. That is the name of the item, the speed booster.
With high jump as well, you've unlocked really comfy movement. You can do all sorts of stuff. You can do new route, worst room in the game. Lots of good strats. So that's going to make this hell run actually more comfortable for MM2 here.
For sure. With this runway, even I can get fast pillars. No need for the stutter 3 tap. As he misses it, I jinxed him. It's the backup. Shout out to Stutter 3 taps.
And here's farfelu gonna go in from the back here. So they actually are still kind of close. The speed is definitely gonna save a lot of time. But it's remarkable that farfelu was able to close the gap like that.
Yeah, the croc skip, as well as I think he might have only done Norfair Reserve and Bubble Mountain. Quite a bit of time difference. And like we said, that farm in the top of West Meridia also a little bit slow, but we're going to be 2 rooms apart max here in Lower Norfair. So Farfelu's current health is higher, unless this is an E-Tank. By 2 rooms apart was assuming M2 just kind of went, and he very much did not, but there's the E-Tank.
Very big E-Tank. That's really nice for him to look at all those pink boxes. So yeah, this is pretty comfortable. Probably gonna want to go ahead and Crystal Flash in the farm room and then farm back up supers just like you would in RBO. And no save from either. They are feeling the heat right now, DJ. That's what I like to see.
Absolutely. MM2, like we said, he's 12 plus 4. I literally didn't even comprehend that until I actually looked on it. I don't know that I've ever seen someone in Rando have 16 total tanks. That is a sight to behold. And yeah, for farfelu, as we've been talking about, that early death is putting him in a I need to do good, fast things. And 2-door transitions at a save are not fast.
And he actually passes MM2 with the Kazan Kago there. Definitely going to go for the Crystal Flash before the fight here. And I actually forgot, it is pretty unlikely that this is Ridley. It's still possible. But either of them could be ultra risky here and just kind of go in to the fight with whatever they have. It is actually possible to Crystal Flash right at the beginning of Ridley. It can be a viable strat to go for that when you aren't sure what the boss is, potentially save some time. But I don't expect that. Okay.
Yes, and that is Fantoon here at Lower Norfair Boss. With the mystery weights, you are 3-1 to have shifted versus surprise. So, not surprising that we haven't seen a duplicate boss thus far. It is the case that farfelu's Crystal Flash pre-fight will probably allow him to just escape. What is he? He's 9+1. That might be fast enough. But M2 has microwave for this fight.
Yeah, that's gonna save a lot of time. This is gonna be at least a 2-round from farfelu.
Yeah. In the fast eye close. This is, I mean, the more flames you get more flames to farm potentially, and he's not even gonna go for the 2-round. Pretty comfy 3-round with this charge beam. If you do the 2-2 charge, 2-2 charge, you're gonna have done 1700 damage, and then it's just 2 missiles and a super on the last round.
Yeah, you know what I forgot is that the speed is also big because it gives M2 free bot wound access.
Yep.
Expect farfelu to go for the CF clip though. Definitely practiced in that.
Yep. We have Dead Fantoon for farfelu, M2 mainly refilling those 4 reserves. Makes a lot of sense. He's quickly taking damage here to use this Crystal Flash Powerbomb to also break these blocks. A little bit risky damage boosting by the Kazan, because if you can't go through that, you're out of iframes, you're going to take 100 more, but he's fine.
Yeah, those Kazans bite back if you look at him funny, so... But he is fine. He has another CF in the bank here, so he's got enough health to just go anyway, so... Really comfortably out of here. And farfelu also with 2 Crystal Flashes in the bank here.
With the blocks here, I did expect to use 1 Powerbomb, but there's a Powerbomb refill right next to him that I don't even expect him to take. He's got all the health in the world. plus the Alcoons if you really want just one power bomb is all he really needs. So he is taking some damage on these rocks. Uh-oh. Farfelu is gonna have to CF here.
It's out of there, thankfully.
Probably, I would take the damage. Yeah, take the damage down there and then do it in the cool room. That's what I expected, but he can take damage from an enemy of choice. But we are out of Lower Norfair, and frankly, out of almost all danger the seed can provide, especially if you take the ship refill prior to entering East Meridia, even a surprise Ridley will be of no consequence to you.
Yeah. And mm2 very comfortably in the lead here with the speed booster. It's actually really wild payoff from going front to back Lower Norfair there.
Yeah, without that, the microwave definitely still has some time save on both that Fan 2 fight and the upcoming Batoon fights. But we would have been extremely close.
Yeah.
And as we all know, Crystal Flash Clip is not an easy trick, so that could have also been an equalizer, but we're not gonna... That's not the world we live in. The world we live in sees mm2 with extremely comfortable movement, a positional lead, and very, very many more E-tanks that are mostly inconsequential, but they do exist.
And farfelu not gonna refill here. He still needs to do Crystal Flash Clip, so I'm not sure where he's gonna get the power bombs.
That is a good point. There are some sand pits that you can fall down in several places in East Meridia, and those enemies whose names I do not know have... Oh, there's a... He got a pirate power bomb drop. He probably didn't even see that. There's also the Fire Fleet Room here in Greenburn Star. They exist, and it is the case that if you're Crystal Flash clipping, you really don't want to be at the full health that the ship refill gives you, but with 35 max power bombs, I think you probably take that time loss.
Wants to save the time to hopefully keep this race a little closer. Hopefully he just has no issue with it, gets the power bombs for free. It's not going to matter in the end though. mm2 is just, he's ahead and he has speed. So he's going to be zooming to the end of the seed here. This was really, really well played though by both. Go ahead and give our runners a follow. !R in the chat. If you like to see gaming of high caliber, go ahead and follow.
Yes, indeed. mm2 with a pretty thorough route through the majors that were on his path, ended up with a bajillion tanks, plenty of ammo, and a gravity suit that negated the need for the various suit, which it wouldn't surprise me if they ran by a Batoon, frankly. We would need ice to have been available, considering speed was very locked, but that is honestly one of the funnier possibilities here. I think that it's probably it's a time loss to get it, but it would be funny to see. There are not a ton of places that Ice Beam could have been. It's basically like top of ship and the other East Meridia checks that are here. Sandpit doesn't require anything, and if grapple was available somewhere, also potentially Shack Tool, but we are unconcerned about such things at this juncture. Here we are, as we said, Batoon here, speeding through the hallway as Deer Force intended, and microwaving Batoon also as Deer Force intended, I'm boldly going to claim.
And we see farfelu maybe going to start to realize that he needs power bombs. Gonna farm here. I'm not sure the drop rate.
I
You can't go
assume
down the
pretty
sand
bad.
pits. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
The
a
sand
that's what I
pits
think
have
I would do
pulsed.
here.
Yeah, I agree.
Left sand pit, farm the enemies, and cheekily potentially get ice or speed there at left sand pit. He may even be tempted to snail clip for the potential extra power bombs.
Yeah, you don't need to farm if you just get another pack here. Going for the Aussie setup here.
Double missile. Thank you, Aqueduct. That's the initial setup. M2 is going to use the charge as a backup. Freeze that hand. No denials today from Kraid. And as expected, no need to be checking what could be a vanilla Variasuit.
M2 gets a nice womple jump. Precious room there. Gonna have full run speed, max possible that you can get for that space jump. Save a few seconds.
And all that stands between M2 and the end of the seed is this Turian at a door we have not looked at but have been able to deduce for quite a while.
Yeah, and farfelu has decided this is where he's gonna get his power bombs. He just needs one more. Probably wants a few more. And he is actually... He's eating the time loss that he wanted to save from the ship refill at this point.
Yeah, the good thing about the enemies in the sandpit fall downs is they're going to drop you power bombs and not health. These enemies are going to drop you health and, by the looks of things, not power bombs. Although we just got 2 in a row as I spoke ill of their name. That's all you got to do sometimes.
He's going to go on to... Probably going to save. But yeah, confident enough that he's going to get it in 2 tries.
Even supering that door for good measure.
That's normally a pink door. Pretty sure.
Yeah, as I found out the other day doing a practice seed, I don't know if it's just a dash change in general or maybe it's only because of mystery, but those aren't even red and vanilla map currently.
That is strange.
Yeah. I have certain opinions on the excess of door color removals, but they are largely inconsequential. It's just a little silly at this point, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Power bombs are our Metroid kill of choice here, as farfelu was at a pretty good place damage down wise to end up below 50, but he wasn't exactly 9, which is not super comfortable. And yeah, he gave himself 2 tries at this trick, so he doesn't need to.
Hey, that was 1 try more than he needed. Nicely done. We didn't even have time to explain the trick. Just already over.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's frame perfect, pixel perfect.
I think so, but the placement of the power bomb is much more lenient than it looks. You have like a nice frame window to lay it. But the laying of the bomb is frame perfect, I believe. Okay, no, mm2 is correcting me in chat. 2 frame window, pixel perfect.
So you have to be in the same spot, which is why there's 2 frames, but which pixel it's on Y-wise is... Or, no, I guess that would be the X pixel that it's on isn't super picky, is I think what we're trying to convey. As we have a baby skip attempt here without wave. Just need to clear that row and successful on that.
Nicely done, gets the boomer skip.
Are there people who stashio skip without wave when not in a low ice scenario? Because if there are, they're kind of crazy in my opinion.
I've seen Nevdi go for that and not get it. I've never seen anybody do clockwise skip without wave and get it. Seems harder. And M2 gets the speed step skip first try, very nice.
Like an entire tile to spare. A lot of times you see people get the blue as you run off that ledge, but no such need. We're gonna 9-9 this Mother Brain 1 and quickly be on our way. We do need to. You actually don't even need to remember to not damage down to 3 tanks because we have 4 reserves. So you would be fine regardless. And it is.
Wow, and yeah, no need for that. That's so funny.
It was in fact vanilla various suit. So Ice Beam is, I think, only Gravity, Sandpit, or if Grapple's available, Shack Tool. I think those are the only possibilities given what we saw.
So yeah, cool seed. This is one of those seeds where you really have to do Suitless LN just because of how much of an awful backtrack it would be to get the Varia. Even though that's what the logic is expecting of it.
Yes, if you play the seed by the logic, you are doing somewhat slow check for ice. The least slow of them is the sand pit, but that's still slow because you have to do this in and out of East Meridia from the back, get Varia, go all the way to Lower Norfair, which is frankly on the other side of the map, and then come back for Turian. And even with the Suitless All-In, which we saw Farfelu do, the speed was at the Screw Attack location, which is pretty infrequent to see in a Suitless Lower Norfair scenario, but the positioning on the map did lead MM2 to end up over there and comfortably get that speed booster, taking him to what was already a lead and expanding it here. We are, as stated, despite the death, this race has been close for quite a while, so Farfelu putting up quite the fight here in our 4-0 matchup here in Week 5.
They're definitely showing why they're undefeated so far. And both of them putting on a match. I have to say, MM2 really gaming out of his mind. He got first try Zeb skip. Did saveless front to back, suitless LN. Knows the risks and really played well tonight. So well-earned win.
He even went for platform. You stand up because he's try-harding that much.
Yeah. And Farfelu really, granted, he definitely played very well to try and make up for that death. There's not a lot of things that you can do when that happens, but definitely did what he had to do to try and make up that time.
Especially given the charge beam being found, not having the plasma beam, quite the detour there. It was kind of on the way to the ship, so it wasn't as bad, but it's still time. He did not have to give in this race, but as this is Swiss and he was already 4-0, no worries for him. He will have another week to improve his record, and both of our runners have qualified for the bracket stage of this event. Just worried about seeding and staying at the top of your game. This is a long event, 6 weeks of Swiss. The bracket is probably going to be somewhere around. I think it'll be a 32-player bracket, but it won't be full. So that's like 5 or 6 rounds if you go all the way to the end, depending. So long event, lots of rando to be played, and these two have been showing off their skills and are going to more than likely continue it for the foreseeable future. But M2 is quickly entering the end of the seed. A nice behemoth spark here in the climb. And just ticking over an hour in a map that is frankly quite spread out. The criteria to criteria portal meant that everything else just kind of went wherever it went. And especially when you get a Turian at the end of one of the two-way boss locations, it's going to just be a little bit slower than they are otherwise. So very nicely done, a good time in the seed in my opinion, and that's the win for MM2 with an official race time 1 hour 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Very quickly, frame 1 enters the commentary restream. Hello MM2 and GG's to you.
It helps to be an SG volunteer, so I already have the Discords. Power trip, I know.
Indeed.
Yeah. GG's Farfelu. Good race.
Yeah, I'm sure you heard us talking a little bit, and probably Farfelu mentioned the unfortunate death at the beginning due to
Yeah,
probably a mistake going into Cathedral with no supers. Had to back out and didn't have full health. He also went a different way than you did. The spaceship across the croc portal very nicely put you into Red Power and then Green Burn Star.
yeah, that was why I did that. Is because it's so likely to be a good portal, but because Red Burn is good, Green Burn is good, 3 out of 4 West Meridia is good. Actually, no, 2 out of 4 West Meridia is good. Front Wreck Ship is at least like has a shot at the super. So it's just really, really likely to be a good portal. And then even if it's not, you have Nutella right there, and you can just go back to where you were going to be doing at Bubble Mountain. So yeah. Also, shout out to 12 tanks of ship refill for my 2.5% surprise second Ridley at East. Great. Great video game.
Yes, you've had quite a few energy tanks and reserve tanks at the seed, as Farflu has also joined us in here, finishing up this
GG
fight
Farflu.
on the restream delay.
GG. Yeah, at least someone remembered to ship refill.
Yeah. I was like, well, if I don't ship refill and I don't farm for Ridley, which will take longer, then if it's the 2.5%, I just auto lose. So I don't want to do that. So I'll just ship refill and be sad for 30 seconds. But yeah, I think that was like frustrating, but that's just how the game goes. And then I think the only other like mistake outside of minor execution was deciding to check speed and wave. I think I should have skipped those because I forgot that I had bombs and that they were relevant for CF clip. I knew I had bombs. I just wasn't thinking about bombs being relevant for CF clip. So I was like,
Oh
okay.
Sorry, I just saw the ice beam location scroll on your side. Where's so grapple beam is like in wreck ship, unless it's a
grapple is at undisclosed location. You'll get to find out when the credits show up. I've known.
There it is. Gravity suit.
So yeah, it was as we talked about. Farflu actually did show us the vanilla various suit. Funnily enough, the logic of this seed was like horrendous as far as backtracking, and
oh yeah, horrible.
You would not be happy to have done this in that way if you were trying to win a race, especially against a fellow 4-0 runner.
Yeah, I was like, well, I should probably just keep getting tanks because this is looking like Seatless LN, and then I just kept getting tanks, and I was like, well, I can do Seatless LN, but I have 10 power bombs. So,
and then you got 3 in a row.
Yeah, exactly. And then I was happy. Yeah, then I
there were so many power bombs in Open Warfare. That's where I decided I was in Go. I think I got as well 2 or 3 in a row.
Yeah. But yeah,
that seems to be where you both decided to do it.
Yeah,
I think Marvel. Did you skip the speed and wave as well there?
I skipped. Yeah, I did skip speed, wave, ice, pretty much everything in Open Warfare. I did remember I had bombs and I had the easy CF clip. Just I had 7 power bombs when I got back.
Yeah, did you do back-to-back LN?
Yeah, because I didn't feel like yeah, sure, it would be faster to go from back to front because you're in a better spot. But without Varia, I wasn't sure if it was safe enough.
Yeah. I was doing front to back, and I think it was good because it's just so much closer. Front is, and then back is pretty close to front and back is pretty close to back of east. So and also like you get a farm before front of LN at the top of west, and then you also have GT refill and the check. So it's pretty good. And then the check can be speed or ice or something, and it was speed.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I kind of had to do back-to-back because, like I said in the race room, since I died, I went back for plasma since I knew it was there. And
you went. Yeah, you went back through Reverse Cathedral after Bubble Mountain stuff. Okay.
Yes, exactly. Because for the Hell Run mostly and Mother Brain DPS.
Okay. Yeah, then back to back is way better for you then. Well, no, yeah, back to back is better.
And then I got the refill just before LN.
That's true. Yeah, no, that's good then. Just also don't get unlucky with speed at screw. Lol.
I think he also had 4 fewer tanks between not getting Gauntlet again, not getting the reserve at Wreckship E-Tank, and not doing Croc.
Yeah, there was like, yeah, the Croc was an E and a reserve. I did Croc, like I did the first time. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do the first time. I was happy with that decision, and then I was like, well, if I'm here and I skip Varia at grapple, I'm just gonna lose. And then I did grapple, and it was a tank of some sort, and I felt bad. So yeah, I just need to stick to my calls. But also, I think it was a fine call because the farm spot let me farm up my supers for whatever shows up next, which ended up being Ridley.
Yeah. So farfelu did finish with a 1 hour, 8 minute, and 10-second finish time. Like we said, despite the unfortunate beginning, still put up quite the fight, especially with a few of those skips. Just could not make up all the time, and speed is a little bit of insult to injury, but well played for sure by both of you. And farfelu joins everyone else in the tournament with a loss.
All the other 41 players.
Yeah. So, M2, you're going to be going to the 5-0 all by yourself. How are you feeling about that?
Pretty good. I feel like I've been the best I've ever been at Rando. Not like the best out of anyone right now, but I feel like this is my personal peak in Rando gameplay. So,
Yeah,
pretty happy with how I'm doing.
Yeah, you've definitely been playing very, very well. Well
And very, very frequently.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been grinding this thing out.
And farfelu, you're going to be going to 4-1, finally taking a loss. Not sure who you're going to be up against the next week, but still got a chance to go 5-1. How you feeling about next week?
I mean, I already know I'm going to bracket, so just for fun, of course, I'll do my best and try to beat you. Would be nice to have another in-team match with you, Bress.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Yeah, I'll keep practicing a bit and looking forward to the brackets after.
I mean, then we would have done a round robin between us because I played Brest, then I played farfelu, and now y'all just have to play each other. Maybe y'all play in brackets.
Yeah, we can only hope.
Yeah, that'd be a sick match.
Bress does have a tough opponent this week, but you have, I think, a 3-race win streak over Kip right now. So
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
So let's keep it going. Should be easy.
yes, and M2 will have. Well, it depends on how these things go, but looking at the 1-loss runners, there's depending on how Brest does, there's 3 people you can't play, and maybe even 4. I don't remember exactly how the thing goes with the pair ups and pair downs, because there's 2 people in 3-1 who've already. Well, actually, there's 3 with Kip, Audra, and Nitro who have a pair up, pair down already.
Yeah.
And Nick Player, actually, he paired down to Dirksu last week, if I'm not mistaken. Or no, that was his name.
Oh, no, I have the spreadsheet up. Nick Player did play Dirksu.
But Dirksu's 2-2, so that wasn't a pair up down. I forget what the.
Yeah, no, Dirksu has his pair up, pair down this week with Dan.
Right, that's how it is. Okay.
Yeah. No,
So it's actually you're not gonna have a lot of options.
I looked at the sheet and I kind of crapped myself because that would have meant that the matchups were wrong, because then I would have given the wrong player a pair down. Well, pair up the 2-2s, but that's whatever. But yeah,
depending on how things go, your selection of people to play in the 1-loss is actually quite limited. But I'm sure it'll be a fun matchup regardless. And
oh yeah,
farfelu will also have a pick of the 1-loss people. Obviously, everyone. I mean, the 2-loss bracket, which I'm in, it has quite a few really, really good people. So only a 42-player event. You're gonna have quite a few people that are good at every level. So fun event so far. As stated at the beginning, this is the asterisk official beginning of the week. And we have lots of races on our schedule. A couple coming forward tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern. We have Lomi and Joe's versus Lies and Gasoline. And then a bit of a nightcap. It starts at 12:30 a.m. Eastern, which for us in the Central Time Zone is still tonight. Vibrant Colors versus Sunflower. and then a host of matches tomorrow and throughout the weekend. We have a few more to get on the schedule, including my race, but lots of fun action coming up on the Speed Gaming family of networks for the mystery tournament here as we are waning in the Swiss stage. If
Yep,
either one
so,
has anything to add, this will be that time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited for Brest to continue taking up PBB's mantle of demolishing Kip in every race. But yeah, I mean, GG's to farfelu. Thanks to DJ and Brest for comms and Nerdvana for tracking. That's it.
Yeah, GG's.
farfelu, anything to add?
Like MM2 said, thank you to the Restream team, and looking forward next week.
Cool. All right. Well, we've got nothing else to do but wait for the next race. So, y'all have a good night, and we'll see you next mission.